Now, if you've been following my content, if you've been following me on pro wrestling, you know that I'm a wait and see type of guy. I don't usually call this the best, call something the best match ever, or the best character ever, or the best moment ever. I don't think that's the best way of doing things. I think there's a way for us as fans to just wait and see and let things play out. So this entire thing that AEW is building, this currently partnership that will eventually return back to a rivalry feud between Adam Cole, baby, and current AEW World's Heavyweight Champion Maxwell Jacob Friedman. Whoever came up with that, be it Tony Khan, Will Washington, whoever came up with that in that creative team, it seems, and this is just my point of view, that they struck gold. And I didn't realize this until last night's backstage segment when MJF, much like he has done in the past, we've seen this many times from the current world champion, but at least this one just cracked me up so much between MJF and Adam Cole when MJF starts to become buddy-buddy and presents him with a brand new suite, by the way. Fantastic new merch. I believe the catchphrase is "I'm better than you, baby," or "better than you, baby." That's definitely a t-shirt worth buying, if you ask anyone. But with that said, is MJF versus Adam Cole for the World's Heavyweight Championship a main event title opportunity worthy for All In, for the biggest show in AEW history? Is it worthy to be in that slot? Can they build it up to that point? And the short answer is absolutely. And they've started off in the best way possible, because they gave us a little taste with that Eliminator match about a week, 2 weeks ago. 30 minutes, Adam Cole almost beat MJF in a non-title bout. That's very important to point out. Non-title bout, but Adam Cole, baby, almost pinned the world champion. And then they're paired up in this blind partner eliminator tag team tournament, where before last night's backstage segment, Adam Cole and MJF couldn't stand each other. They couldn't stand the thought of them being 6 feet apart from each other without going into a war of words between themselves. And obviously, MJF's character revolves around, okay, I'm going to make it work for me. He did that with Chris Jericho a few years ago. He did that very recently with Sammy Guevara in the build-up to the Fatal 4-Way at Double or Nothing. So again, it's something that we've seen happen many, many times before. All I'm saying is AEW has a lot invested in the Adam Cole character. He was the premiere of the All Access Backstage documentary series. The pops he's gotten when it's mattered, when he returned on January 11th. His first match back, that Eliminator match against MJF. All things seem to point that the main event, at least world title-wise, world championship match at All In, is and might be MJF versus Adam Cole. And for all intents and purposes, it should, because this is the very first rivalry, the very first feud where I actually believe that MJF can lose the world championship. Not to mention, if it happens at All In London, that's a great stage, the biggest stage that AEW is ever going to have up until that point, to change the championship, to crown a new world champion. I wasn't feeling it with Ricky Starks at the beginning of MJF's reign. Was too soon in the reign, and Ricky Starks wasn't built up properly to that point, much like nobody else was in the Fatal 4-Way at Double or Nothing. They had tried that with Bryan Danielson at Revolution in that 60-minute Iron Man match, pitting MJF in a kind of a match that for all intents and purposes, benefited the American Dragon. That obviously didn't pan out that way. But right now, the way things are playing out, the Eliminator match, the can they coexist aspect of this blind Eliminator tournament between Adam Cole and MJF, everything that they're doing, they're taking all the right steps when it comes to storytelling, when it comes to character progression between these two characters. It all leads me to believe that the main event World Championship match at All In will be MJF defending his World Heavyweight Championship against Adam Cole, and it should be. At this point in time, it should be. We're about to go into July. I believe All In is at the very end of August. They have quite a few weeks, quite a few months actually, month and a half, 8 weeks, 10 weeks to build this up properly. And then they have the chance to crown one of the biggest babyface World Championship moments in AEW history by having Adam Cole be the one to take the title off of MJF, which again, I'm not entirely sure might happen. If you ask me, I'd still put it on Wardlow, but again, they're having a bit of a complex with how they're handling Wardlow at this moment in time, so Adam Cole seems like the best option going forward. And if you ask me, MJF versus Adam Cole for the world title, All In, London, Wembley Stadium, packed stadium, full stadium, biggest stage AEW's ever had up until this point in their existence. Should that be the main event? Yes. Should they switch the championship? Should they make Adam Cole the world champion and not pull what WWE did with Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania this year? Yes. Again, MJF's had a pretty long title reign. And I don't think Tony Khan is going to go the route that WWE has been doing with Roman Reigns. So we'll just have to wait and see. But for now, the main event of All In should definitely be MJF, Adam Cole, World Championship, Wembley Stadium, 80,000 plus. Going wild, going crazy for that mega event. So with that said, what are your thoughts on last night's backstage segment? What are your thoughts on Adam Cole and MJF's possible rivalry? Their current partnership? Do you think it should main event All In? And if that happens, do you think Adam Cole should be the one to dethrone MJF for the World Heavyweight Championship? Leave your thoughts, comments, and predictions in the comment section below. Tonight is Thursday, so that means you get to tune in to Access TV for another episode of Impact Wrestling on the road to Slammiversary. I'm Alexis Carrillo, this has been Wrestling Talk, and I'll see you next time.